ladies and gentlemen, we've got a great episode for you today, a really special location. We've got Becca Brattain here from KWS, and we are high above the city of Jefferson in the Mahanay Bell Tower.
Yeah, the Mahanay Bell Tower is in the square of Jefferson, built in 1966, and I don't know how tall it is, but it's pretty tall.
It's the third highest building in the U.S.
Is it the highest building in Jefferson?
We are currently sitting in the highest elevation in Iowa. So, things like that.
Well, I'm sure that's not true, but where it's going.
Yeah, if you ever get out to Jefferson, stop on up. We've got great tour guides here. They'll let you in, and you can check out this beautiful scenery. Maybe we'll give you a little picture of it here in the video. So.
Yep, and Becca, I don't know if you knew, but this was Iowa's top tourist attraction this year, 21. So it is a big deal.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. So KWS is a cereals company. Mm-hmm. Does the hybrid ride get as tall as this bell tower? It just did.
Excellent question. Not quite, no. And actually the hybrid ride's been bred to be just a little bit shorter than even some of our old styles of ride.
Interesting.
So a little bit shorter.
So what is the benefit of hybrid ride?
Well, so much like when we hybridized corn, we hybridized a rye crop to really improve things like yield, disease resistance, standability, and ultimately give it hybrid vigor, right? It's a fun part of throwing that word hybrid in the front of it.
So what does KWS stand for, and what is KWS?
I'm not going to tell you what it stands for because it's a German town where the company was originally founded back in 1865, and my German's just a little sketchy, so we
can make up our own name.
Yeah,
okay.
have at it. The W makes a V sound, so keep that in mind in German.
Okay.
So yeah, KWS is a plant breeding company actually that was founded back in 1865. So not new to the world of plant breeding, but fairly new to the United States actually. So we have only been KWS cereals in the US. This is our 5th year. So we are brand new to the US, and we are offering basically new elite cereal genetics to farmers here in the US.
Okay. And is hybrid rye the only thing you're doing in the United States right now?
It's actually not. So we have a wheat breeding program located in Champaign, Illinois. And at that location, we're breeding varieties of wheat for all across the upper, lower Midwest, across the East Coast just a little bit, and even down south, we have some varieties that we're breeding for there. And we're also starting to test some of our barley varieties, some of our oat varieties, field peas, pretty diverse portfolio, actually.
So we're in the cover crop market. That's our main demographic. What do people need to know about hybrid rye as far as plant protection?
Good question. So hybrid rye is a PDP protected variety. So just like our hybrid corns, where it is illegal to keep seed and be replanting it the next year as a crop, hybrid rye is the same way.
So you want to pay for that intellectual property.
Correct. There is a lot of years and time that goes into creating these varieties, and sometimes it takes up to 8 years for a variety that hits the market. It was thought of 8 years ago.
So if this hybrid rye isn't used for cover crops, what is it used for?
The biggest market right now, which I'm sure you guys appreciate, is actually the rye whiskey market. So that's the largest market right now because it's excellent quality, it's been bred for high falling numbers, all the things that those distillers look for, excels there.
We do what we can to help build that market for you guys.
We appreciate that. We need all the support we can get. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then you also have some varieties that are for chopping.
Yeah, so fun story behind those. Those were also bred in Germany actually. And in Europe, they use a lot of forages for biogas production. And so they created some forage varieties, lots of leafy green biomass that's highly digestible to create biogas. A bunch of livestock nutritionists sat down and said, wow, that sounds an awful lot like cow feed. Maybe we should be marketing that to the livestock market. And so we introduced our forage varieties.
Yeah, so if you want some biogas varieties, Bill makes some biogas. Yeah.
Not that kind of biogas.
Anything more you can tell us that we need to learn about hybrid rye and KWS?
Yeah, so I think the other really interesting thing that we're doing is we're really focused on the livestock feeding industry. So in Europe, something like 80% of the rye that's produced there goes into livestock feeding. It's a huge part of their swine diets, their cattle diets, things like that. And we're really looking at how if farmers are producing this new crop in their rotation, if they're creating this new commodity basically, where can it be marketed? So we've partnered with a lot of universities and a lot of research partners across the US to really see how hybrid rye can be fed to pigs and cattle, and we found out that it can be fed really easily and really successfully, replacing corn to livestock.
And cheaper to produce.
And cheaper to produce. It was about a third the cost to produce a crop of rye than it is to produce a crop of corn.
Yeah. Anything else, James?
Just if you want to learn more about KWS hybrid rye, let Bill and I know, and we'd love to tell you more about it. And thanks for tuning in.
Bell Tower Festival, second weekend in June. Be here. Come hang out on the top of the Bell Tower.
It's pretty awesome. You should come check it out.
And we have a surprise if you come during the parade. Bill and I will be dressed up. So
It's going to be good.
thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for coming under the covers, Becca.
Thanks for having me.